Welcome back to another episode of the Bird Factory Podcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another prediction show for UFC 302 this Saturday. Islam Makhachev taking on Dustin Poirier. Dustin with his third crack at the title. Can he do it or can he not?
That's a big question because now you got a fight of Dustin Poirier, his last title shot, maybe his last UFC fight ever. And this is ultimately the only thing left that he has to accomplish to have one of the most legendary careers. I saw a stat last week that he has fought 6 out of the last 7 UFC Lightweight champions. Some people don't even have 7 fights in the entire UFC. And the fact that he has fought 7 former champions, he's not afraid to go against people who've had the belt. He's not afraid to go up against these hype trains, these young up-and-comers, and Benoit Saint-Denis, who he knocked out back in March. He's not afraid, and he's going to take this fight to Islam Makhachev. But this is a prediction show, so let's get into it. Islam is the minus 575 favorite, while Dustin Poirier is the plus 420 underdog. So, Priest, give me your thoughts on this fight. Who's leaving Newark with the belt?
Guys, we all know who's going to win this belt, but it's an ego that want Dustin Poirier to win. And that's with me too. My ego wants Dustin Poirier to win, but who I believe will win this fight is Islam Makhachev. Islam is way too good at his craft. He is pound for pound number 1 for a reason, and he believes that he is the best of all time at the lightweight division. But Dustin Poirier is a dog. You can't count him out in any fight. He has a chance. But styles make fights, and Islam's style is way too good. And not only put that aside, but here comes the little notebook priest journalist person I am. Dustin gives his back way too easily. He gave it way too easily to Khabib, and he gave it to Oliveira too. And he almost gave it to Benoit Saint-Denis, but Benoit didn't capitalize on that. And I'm nervous for Dustin if this fight gets to the ground. But Dustin does have a puncher's chance on the feet. Islam sometimes gets a little reckless and he tries to go for the kill. And I wouldn't be shocked if Dustin hits him with the check right hook and it is all she wrote. But Islam Makhachev and still this Saturday.
That's my biggest question is, can Dustin Poirier get to Islam? You know he's going to be in the octagon with him, but can he get to him? Can he get into that A, that B range, that right inside, that close to Islam Makhachev without overextending and without getting taken down? Because let's just be frank. Islam Makhachev is going to take down Dustin Poirier multiple times. Let's not try to pretend that Dustin Poirier is going to pull this magical takedown defense against him. Volkanovski got taken down multiple times by Islam Makhachev.
And Volkanovski's 5'6".
Exactly. And was the best fighter on the entire planet. So let's put that out of the way. But can Dustin Poirier be there in the 4th and the 5th round? And that's what I think he's going to do. Because Islam Makhachev, he fades. He faded against Alexander Volkanovski. He fades in his fights. He gets tired. It is something that Khabib didn't do that Islam does. Islam gets tired. So I will not be shocked if in the 4th and the 5th round, Dustin Poirier starts putting it on him and ultimately can win the fight. Do I think Dustin Poirier is going to win the fight? No. I think Islam is great. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I think Islam is better than Khabib.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Khabib. I think Khabib was very dominant on the ground. He would take you down. He would hold you. He would maul you. He would suffocate you. Islam does the same thing. But the thing that Islam has is that it factor on the feet. You saw it in his last fight. He head kicked Alexander Volkanovski, the most dominant fighter on the planet, and he head kicked him, knocked him out.
And ruined his career.
And ultimately ruined his career. So Islam Makhachev has that it factor. But for Dustin Poirier, can he be there in the 4th and the 5th round? Because those are going to be the rounds that he has to win.
Which I don't believe he will make it to the 4th or 5th round.
I don't think so.
You look at the fight with Benoit Saint-Denis. The dude was gassed. Granted, that was a crazy.
But look how durable he was. In the first round, Dustin Poirier was getting it taken to him, but he was there in the 2nd round when Benoit Saint-Denis wasn't.
Yeah, because Benoit had this crazy adrenaline up. You're fighting the number 3 guy in the world. He was number 12 at the time. Of course, you're going to have a huge adrenaline up. But you look back at the Charles Oliveira fight. Dustin said it himself. My arms were not there. He literally says it. You look at the 3rd round, and he was gassed. He could not go anymore. And I have a hard time believing he will go the distance this fight. He cannot go the distance. Dustin, I want you to prove me wrong so bad.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. But he is not going the distance. Islam Makhachev will remain in June 1st.
He's got to come out with leg kicks, though. That's my biggest thing. He is finally fighting a southpaw. Besides Conor McGregor, he is fighting a southpaw. Islam Makhachev is a southpaw. You know what that means? That calf kick is going to be there all day long. Same thing with Conor McGregor. Dustin Poirier chewed up that calf, chewed up that calf, chewed up that calf. Granted, when Khabib fought Justin Gaethje, we're talking about Khabib now, Justin Gaethje was maybe 2 or 3 leg kicks away from putting Khabib down. Dustin Poirier, you are now fighting Islam, who's a lot like Khabib. Come out there like Justin Gaethje did, put some hard, low calf kicks on him, negate that moving, negate keeping Islam out of range, so that way you're allowed to get closer to him, allowed to get into that A and B range, and ultimately just put that Louisiana dog on him. That's how you're going to win this fight. Dustin Poirier is a dog, and I can promise you he will bring everything he has June 1st, and he will not roll over to Islam Makhachev.